It's starting early.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Conor McGregor fight on the television. I'm cutting my Lost Angel by Caldwell. Because of the fight tonight, even though he doesn't own it anymore, we're going with the proper 12. And I'm even going to follow up tonight on KG from last week. And I'm going to bring out the Deer Park sparkling lemon water. But to say all that, welcome to the Saturday night Wrestlemaniacs, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies. This is me. It's the Nubian Sumo, JBG. And on my right, I have the big guy, KG. And on my left, I don't know who the fuck this is.
Coming to the light, Caroline. Coming to the light.
It's supposed to be Don. It's supposed to be the People's Choice Don Rodriguez, but maybe he's trying to be Sabu tonight. Maybe he's trying to, invade somebody's country.
I was trying to pay tribute to Jinder Mahal, who actually had some action this week. Now it could be, thrift store MJF.
Thrift store MJF. Okay. All
right.
Do your thing, brother. And to end off my senseless plugs.
At least that's a Carolina.
My throwback Jerry Stackhouse joint. Decided to pull that out tonight.
I got something to say about that. I got something to say about that. I'm sorry. We got to discuss this right now. James, you may not know this. And I know wherever Ben is, I know the Midnight Rider is somewhere around. But we had this discussion on one of our weekly shows about the 93 Carolina team. They beat the Fab Five, Chris Webber timeout. He dragged the foot, ran up in the corner timeout.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was 11 years old when that happened. I cried for 3 days. Like, I'm talking boo-hoo, like I lost my best friend crying for 3 days. My mother being a North Carolina fan, she loves North Carolina team. She loves the state. She decided to go to North Carolina and bring me back a championship t-shirt. And I had to accept it and wear it. I am still bitter 28 years later about that. And the thing is, if Stackhouse and all those guys from the 93 team, they would have played there all 4 years of eligibility, they would have been with Jameson and Carter and Ed Cota and all those guys who I absolutely love. And it would have been probably one of the best star-studded North Carolina Tar Heel teams ever if they could have played together. But I'm still bitter about that 93 loss. And for you to have that Stackhouse jersey on, I'm bitter towards you tonight. So you and I will not see eye to eye tonight. Thank you very much.
Well,
good job, James. You turned heel already.
A certain listener, viewer of ours, Mr. William Thompson, other known to us as the Chief, Raj, has a similar story to you because he can't stand the Tar Heels because of the 82 loss from Georgetown.
Y'all need to get y'all old behind beefs together. That's all y'all got is some old beefs.
So
that's not an old beef.
So anytime the Tar Heels come up, he gets this look on his face, and I'm like, look, as much fun as we used to have on Carolina's campus when we were in college, you can't be holding a grudge. He's like, no, Ewan should have got his ring. Yeah, he got robbed. I was like, so yeah, you and Raj now have something in common.
Ewan should have 3 rings, man.
Old behind beefs. Well, gentlemen, we had some nice fun that started this week. We started going back to the crowds. AEW, as we talked about last week, is the first out the box. So let's talk about it. So AEW had that Road Rager this past Thursday, but when we're talking about themed televised programming, for lack of a better term, it was going up against NXT's Great American Bash. So we had a lot of feeling and emotion and surprises, for lack of a better term, being from the AEW side. And, you know, NXT, anytime we do anything themed, is going to be phenomenal in this NXT. So, you know, they can put that work in. So my first question being posed to y'all, since you can't see eye to eye, I'm assuming y'all are going to be on separate sides of the coin with this, is who actually was better? Did AEW's Road Rager pull it out with, you know, some big events and debuts and surprises like Aleister Black or Malachi Black now in AEW? Or was it NXT, which had, you know, arguably one of the best matches between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly? So either one of you guys, I guess, James, if you want to go first, since you're the ugliest one in the center of the screen. So I'll let you go ahead and comment first if you like.
Ugly? Where the fuck you get ugly from?
The mirror.
No, the mirror that you're looking at.
Every time
that's where you get ugly from. Your mirror that you look at. This motherfucker. Oh,
see, I didn't push you over the edge last week, so I doubt KG has the heart to do it. So I got to go ahead and do it myself. Well, I mean, if you want to commit,
no, see, KG not only has common sense, but he has respect.
He just
so unlike you,
wow. I just called you out saying you don't have the heart to do it. He go ahead like, nope, he's smart. He's just not going to do it. He's just going to mark out the entire show and, you know, just total lie.
No, I'm not going to toe the line, but
you see that pressure right there?
No, here's the thing. I don't have performance anxiety.
I don't know.
I got the goods, hun. I don't have performance anxiety at all.
We'll see.
But one thing about James, I can't do him too dirty, because hopefully sometime in the near future we can take that ride and we can come down and that's gonna be my riding partner. He got things. It was a show that you wasn't here. He put some stuff into perspective that I had been getting wrong for years, and I got too many questions. I need him right now, so I can't piss him off.
And I know that barbecue supply getting real short right about now.
Man, my barbecue supply been short since the week after you delivered it.
He paid you off in barbecue.
Hey, it don't take much, man. You know.
Dang.
Everybody's got a price for the Nubian sumo.
Well, yeah, same thing for Cameron Grimes, who is now a butler. But taking it back to NXT's Great American Bash and the Road Rager, James, it's on you. Who won? Who's a better show?
I can't really give either one of them the Duke. I'm giving, you know, really? I can't say whether one of them was better than the other. I mean, AEW had their surprises, like you said, with Malachi Black, and you know, and everything that went on with that. You know, the little surprise, the little thing with the little extra excitement with what was his name? What he called himself on Twitter, the fat bastard, trying to get into the ring with Jericho and MJF and whatnot. You know, and then you had what pretty much was the savior for NXT was the Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly match, because other than the NXT women's tag titles changing hands, surprisingly, you know, that was about that match was the only thing. That was about the only thing that went on with that whole thing, because you expected Cameron Grimes to lose. I mean, that was no surprise. So. Yeah. I put them like neck and neck. I can't say one over the other myself. That's just
what about you, KG?
You already know how I feel about Great American Bash. I'm absolutely positively pissed that it's no longer a pay-per-view. I think that's a disservice to Dusty. It'll always be a disservice to Dusty in my opinion.
And the fact that they started that show off with the cold open with Dusty speaking, that was another slap in the face too.
Of course. They're gonna do any type of dig they know they can do just to get that rating spike. I mean, it did do fairly well in the ratings, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, yeah, that's one of those low shots that Cody and Dustin are just letting, just slide right off the back. Don't even care. Because it's still, at the end of the day, from what Cody Rhodes said in the interview, it's still glorifying Dusty's legacy. At the end of the day, we could be mad about it, like, or we could just say, you know what, our dad put some things forward, and it's still alive and breathing today, and they're giving him top billing for the creation. So
as long as NXT is up and running, Dusty is going to be praised.
Yeah.
When it comes to greatest on the mic giving a promo, Dusty's got to be praised because I think he is greatest on the mic. I'll give Ric Flair the 1A, but Dusty's got to be praised. But don't disrespect the man's legacy by not making the Great American Bash a pay-per-view. It could be an NXT pay-per-view on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, it should be a separate pay-per-view. But just for comparison, going back to what I was talking about the legacy, everything or almost everything Dusty has touched at has been a pay-per-view or gimmick match or whatever. You hear his name. No disrespect to this Hall of Famer, but how often are you watching the Royal Rumble and they're mentioning this is Pat Patterson's idea? They hear it once in a while, but it's not that often. Anytime like we're talking about it, Great American Bash, you think Dusty.
Yeah.
NXT and a lot of talent, you think of Dusty Rhodes before, Triple H became the true face of NXT currently and things like that. So, the strap match we had in AEW this past weekend at the Weekend of Road Rager, again, you think about, Dusty and a lot of the NWA talent that, came before that put those matches on the map. Hell, they even mentioned his brother and some of those strap matches he had in WCW. So, I mean, it is what it is. I just take it as, hey, it should be a true pay-per-view, just so also like Starrcade. But, it is what it is. Nothing else. But what do you guys think about the feel of the crowd? With it being, I guess you could call it, it looked almost like a packed house. And just, do I have it on this one? No, I don't have it in this book. I mean, I wrote a different one to have the capacities and everything. But it looked like for almost 8,000 people, I believe, where they could seat. So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. It was good that they had the crowds back, but you could tell with some of the wrestlers that they need to get back to their timing and their interaction with the crowds, because you can tell that they haven't been around them in a while, and just the way that they were stopping and starting, trying to include them, but not necessarily pulling it off like they had been in the past. It's just a matter of getting back into the swing of things. But it was good to have the crowd back.
I would say, James, one thing you also have to take into consideration, because that's the first thing I noticed, is that the hard camera, which typically would be where the crowd was actually on stage or behind the stage. So it did take some of the talent to get used to the hard camera being beside, especially in the beginning matches, because you saw all the spots were facing the fans. So all the face emotion and everything else, we're not seeing. And then gradually, as we started to get towards the end of it, you saw people like MJF and Jericho and everybody playing to the camera and the crowd. So I think that also could have been a little bit of a get used to moment. We'll have to see how next week's set is going to go with the next venue, because each one is different in reference to it. If they can have the center location for the ring, or if it's kind of like a amphitheater, type of design like we had last week. So, everything had to go down and straight, almost like Daly's Place, except it had a lot more height to it in reference to where the seating was. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But KG, what about you? What do you think about the sound of the fans and everything this past week for AEW?
It's good to have everybody back. I'll tell you that. And Ben says Malachi Black was a thing. It was such a thing that even Jim Ross didn't even know what was going to happen. So yeah, that was beautiful.
Kayfabe is real, ladies and gentlemen. Once in a while.
And that's
I said that in the past shows. Like AEW is doing. That's one of the main things that AEW is doing very well. They're keeping secrets like that and not letting them leak out. And it's a surprise to everybody whenever these things happen, as they should be. So I give them kudos for that, because nobody knew that he was coming, especially the announcers, Jim Ross and Excalibur and Tony Schiavone, because they didn't even get his name right.
Yep.
They calling him Tommy End, which is his name in the independents. That's what he was going by on Twitter. But they didn't even realize that he was coming, and so they didn't even know that his name was going to be Malachi Black.
Yep.
So they had to switch that on the fly, as he was coming in. But yeah, kudos to AEW for trying to maintain some form of kayfabe.
Well, and when I saw that tweet, that's the first thing I thought. Kayfabe is alive and well. Stop thinking that it's not. It is alive and well. As long as we're alive, kayfabe is alive because we keep up with it.
Yep.
We don't reveal industry secrets here.
And you know who the biggest winner is? It's
Andrade.
I'm assuming it's the lawyer that realized that Aleister Black's contract, when I'm saying Aleister Black because we're talking in WWE time, they never transitioned his non-compete from the 30-day for NXT to the 90-day for main roster. So he was notified that, hey, I've just got 30 days. So after 30 days, he's good. And he was in talks at that point with Tony Khan, and that they concocted a plan, and then it is what it is. So it was just, the only in people was Tony Khan, a couple members of security, and Malachi Black. And that was it.
But let me ask you a question.
Going out in and out of the that was during the Cody match was actually part of the plan. They should have did it one more time, but that was all part of the plan from what was being revealed as well. What were you saying, KG?
Let me ask you a question. And everybody listening, you guys, tell me this. Don't it seem kind of funny? Malachi Black shows up in AEW, right? 30-day non-compete clause. Oh shit, we fucked up. Then all of a sudden, let's bring his wife back.
Yep.
Like it just seemed like the timing just. I smell a conspiracy, but I might be wrong. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I might be wrong.
No, nothing wrong there because there was some internal rumblings about bringing Aleister / Malachi back to WWE after he was let go. So just like Samoa Joe, there was some thought process in there, and they were trying to figure out what to do with him. They just took too long. And hey, right opportunity. The question is, again, like we talked about last week, what's the big carrot that the WWE had to have dangled to bring Zelina Vega back, especially knowing that she knew that her hubby was going to be heading to AEW. So that also we'll have to wait and find out if that caused ripples in her relationship with the WWE, because now is she going to get the Lana treatment? Is she going to be going through tables every week? She's in Money in the Bank, so does that mean her Money in the Bank opportunity is done? She's in it, but she's not going to win it.
She's not going to win it anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, if they was going to go do a shock and awe opportunity, that's one of the things that I would do.
Now, the shock and awe opportunity would be Liz Morgan. Now that she's in.
I don't think that's shock and awe. I'm not. It's overdue. It's overdue.
I'm not really. I'm saying shock and awe as far as out of all the 8 women in it, that she would be least likely, but she is deserving. She is deserving.
Thus far, for if they do the right thing, she will be my front runner. But we'll get to that next week as we do our picks.
Okay, no. But don't jump on my boo bandwagon now.
I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I'm just saying, what would be the smartest play?
All she needs is this guy.
What would be the smartest play? Because they've been kind of laying down a foundation for it with every week thus far. She's been coming out, getting in Sonya Deville's face. Why did you pick me? Why is Carmella in? Why is this person in? Why don't I have an opportunity? Why are you not giving me my credit, my just due? And then this past week, she found out that she was in because Carmella gets the opportunity that we know she's not going to win, but she gets the opportunity to go up against Bianca next week live since Bayley is out. So,
well, are we talking about this now since this was on the production notes?
Not there.
I'm just saying, since are we skipping?
No, we're not skipping. I'm just painting a picture that you've almost got the whole puzzle together for her to win if they were to go that direction and pull it off. But there is that Zelina Vega X factor.
They actually gonna let Zelina Vega wrestle?
Well, the fact that you brought her in and that Alistair is over there, instead of doing the Lana treatment, the smarter play would be to go ahead and give her the Money in the Bank, make her a bigger star, and say, hey, she's the breadwinner. She's making all this money. She's doing all this. This is the greener pasture that you should have been in had you have returned our call or made the decision to come back to WWE. So, just to be, I guess, reverse petty, you can do that too.
Well, me as a husband, if my wife has a chance to become top star in a rival company, baby, go do it. Because guess what? I'm going to do what I got to do. It's not going to be, well, she's a bigger star than me. I hate this bit. Nah, dog. It's all about chasing and securing the bag. We got to secure the future.
Alistair would have that. I'm just saying that for
I know.
TV,
I know.
She's, champion and she's having big moments. He's mid-card wrestling. That's what I'm talking about. So it's just sticking it to, like, okay, you had the big surprise, but yeah, where are you at? Here's where she is, and this is where you could have been if we would have brought you back in.
Hell, that's even though they're in the same company, you could say the same thing about Bianca and Montez Ford.
Yeah.
Everybody, Montez is like, damn, I can't hardly hold the damn tag titles, but damn.
And they should have never lost the tag titles, but I ain't gonna get into that.
Well, but I mean, he's not saying that. He's like, go do your thing, boo.
Yeah,
get that check.
Hey,
make sure they cut that check.
He recognizes that she's more of a polished gem. She's that once in a lifetime talent, not knocking anything that he can do, because Lord knows he can fly and get that height and he makes it look good. And Dawkins is a good compliment to him, but they're still a young tag team. Mm-hmm. They still got a lot to prove. They're like a young New Day. It took a while before they get to the point to where they're number one on the WWE all-time greatest, list, which, we know that should have been Killer Bees. But
still won't admit it. We 3 years in and you still won't admit it.
Don't you talk bad about Jumping Jim Brunzel. So, but Bianca, I mean, that's
road rules.
That's that that once in a lifetime epic talent. Like, they will never let her go anywhere. Whatever.
They shouldn't, but they prone to slip up. They gonna find a banana peel at some point. They gonna find that one patch of silicone and they gonna slip, just like they always do.
Yep. So transitioning over to That's Just Nubian, since you're over here talking about implants and stuff like that. So
ain't nobody talking about no implants.
Boobies.
Silicone. How you slipping on silicone in?
There's silicone in like a can, or you could pour silicone. That's you and your dirty mind.
It's in boobies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Tupperware titties.
I don't know where we're getting this from, but either way,
because
allegedly you have a sex.
I'm gonna start calling you Red Velvet. Because you always stirring the pot. and then you forget. Then you all of a sudden forget what you said.
I'll show you some. Since you are having
No, don't show me nothing. Don't show me nothing. The warning is all. The warning was given before the show started about you.
I missed that.
The warning was given already.
Well, it was saying keep top on, but ain't saying nothing about bottoms. Oh, is that how we defuse this?
Cheap pop.
Come on, man.
She run things around here. You just had a bath?
Right there.
And you smell like a new baby. Oh, you see yourself. You see yourself on that side too. You see yourself on every screen, don't you? Can I have this?
Go ahead.
Don't make that little girl vain.
Nah.
I can't even talk bad about you now that we got tender ears. So
she can't hear you. Only I can hear you.
All I gotta say, James, is it's nice to talk to you tonight, man. I gotta say out good vibes like Dora the Explorer or something.
You touching the mic?
Oh boy.
You gonna drop 16 bars before we leave?
Oh, well, see, even the baby got him drinking water. That's the power of the cuteness right there. The power of cuteness compels you. The power of cuteness compels you. Come on, Satan. Go ahead and do your segment.
Satan? Jesus. Okay. All right. So let's get into this That's So Nubian segment with you all. I went into a whole lot of stuff with everybody on last week, catching everybody up on all the title, who's holding all the titles and the pay-per-views that are coming up. Right now, MLW is having their Battle Riot 3 at this point in time at 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. It started at 7 o'clock. For those who aren't able to watch it on the Fight TV network or wherever they are, you can wait until the 24th, where BN Sports will be showing it for free. So if you have BN Sports on your cable outlet, then you can find it there. You can look on their YouTube page to see where else you'll be able to find it, because they're actually going to show it after the 24th on for free on some other outlets as well. To go back over that card, you're going to have Davey Richards versus TJP. The Von Erichs, Marshall, and Ross will be wrestling Team Filthy, who I found out will be Tom Lawler and Kevin Koo, which is part of the tag team that I was talking about, Violence is Forever, within that group, within that faction. Richard Holiday will be facing King Muertes for the Caribbean title, the ICW Caribbean title. And you'll have the Battle Riot, which will include Alex Hammerstone, King Muertes, Mads Kruger, Richard Holiday, TJP, Myron Reed, Calvin Tankman, Gino Medina, Ares, which is a luchador out of AAA, Kevin Koo, Savio Vega, EJ Nduka, which is one of the NXT guys who was released recently from WWE, Lee Moriarty, Gringo Loco, Kenshi, Ross and Marshall Von Erich, Aramis, which is another AAA wrestler, King Mo, Buku Dao, Alex Kane, Davey Richards, Sean Davari, and Kit Osborne, who I let you all know was the son, the kayfabe son of Lance Von Erich, who is supposed to be going after the Von Erichs in revenge of their father, the way their father was treated back in the old world class days. So again, you'll be able to watch that 24th on free access. You can check out YouTube and see what's going on there if you can find it there, and you can definitely see it on BN Sports on the 24th to check that out. Now, as far as Impact, they have their Slammiversary event on next Saturday, which is the 17th. Or is that a Sunday? I can't remember. Today is what, the 10th, so that'll be Saturday. Okay, so
again Sunday, because Sunday is WWE's pay-per-view. That's Money in the Bank.
Right. Okay. So matches that I mentioned last week that I thought were going to happen. Rosemary and Rosemary and Havoc will be getting their Knockouts Women's Championship title shot against Fire and Flavor. The tag team match that I thought was going to happen, TJP and Fallah Bob versus Violent by Design, is actually going to be a 4-way match, which is going to include those two teams, the Good Brothers, and Rick Swan and Willie Mack.
Really?
So it's going to be a 4-way. It's going to be a 4-way match for the tag titles. Deonna Purrazzo has put out an open challenge to anybody that saying that, well, it wasn't really an open challenge. What she said was that she could go up against anybody anywhere and not know who she's going to face, because she had an open challenge the week before and wound up retaining her title. So Gail Kim came out and said, okay, since that's the case, then you will have a match defending your Knockouts title at Slammiversary, but you will not know who it is until you get into the ring. So we're going to see what happens with that. Now, it could be a lot of different people. You know, the 90 day clause is ended for a lot of people with it that will let go of WWE. So you got a lot of people who are in the mix, and you also have some people that could be involved from AAA, because remember, you have the Fabi Apache title versus title match coming at the end of August, so they could start incorporating AAA into their shows to try to push that match. I'm not expecting Deonna Purrazzo to lose her title to whoever it is, because they've already got that match set up and signed for and started promoting it. So it would have to be something really, really big for that match to change and have AAA say, okay, yeah, we still want the match, but whoever the champion is, we want them. So we'll have to see how that goes.
What about Tessa Blanchard? Why couldn't
that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to mention a whole lot of names and whatnot, but yes, Tessa Blanchard.
That would be the big one that they'd be like, okay.
Tessa Blanchard is on that list. You also have Chelsea Green, who has put out on Twitter that she has a new theme song, she has new gear, and that her 90-day clause ends in 4 days. That was earlier today. So she would be available for next week's pay-per-view if she's the one that, and she does have history with TNA and Impact. So
right.
Like I said, I didn't want to go into a whole lot of different names because there are too many to mention, but those would be the main two that I would look for, Tessa Blanchard and Chelsea Green, to fill that spot for that match. Now, as far as the NWA is concerned, on the last show, the Pope did retain his television championship against Sal Ronaldo. This would be his 6th successful title defense. Now, one of the rules that they have for the television championship in NWA is that if you have 7 consecutive successful title defenses, that after the 7th match, you get a shot at, you can trade it in or cash it in for a shot at the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. And his next title challenger has already stepped up to the plate, which is the Great American Smash, Tyrus.
Oh my gosh, that guy.
So he's put himself in the ring for that. I'm not sure as to when that match will happen. They may wait until the 73rd anniversary to have that match for back in August. I did say last week that it was in Kansas City. That was my mistake. It's actually in St. Louis where the chase is. So there will be in St. Louis. It will be the day after the all women's pay-per-view NWA Empower. That's going to be booked by Mickey James. They still have not named any women who are going to be involved in that match. But it did come out on Twitter today. There was an interview done by Jimmy Wang Yang. I don't know if anybody remembers him from WWE.
Yep.
Or even in Impact. He was one of the Flying Elvises at the beginning of TNA. He actually had an interview on Lucha Libre Online where he said that he and his daughter, Jazzy Yang, has actually been in discussions with Mickie James to be involved in this pay-per-view. So he's got a daughter that's in the business that he's trying to get started, and she is saying that she wants to try to start some careers with this pay-per-view. I'm not sure if you all remember, but it was an NWA pay-per-view that got Jordan Grace started. That put Jordan Grace in the limelight. So it is possible that somebody could come out of a pay-per-view and start a very lucrative career coming out of a pay-per-view from the NWA. So now on that same show, Chris Adonis ended up winning back the national heavyweight championship, defeating JTG. So we'll see. So the national title is back with Strictly Business, along with the women's title with Camille and the World's Heavyweight Championship with Nick Aldis. So right now, the only person without a belt is Tom Latimer. And I think they're going to be looking to have Latimer and Adonis try to go after the tag team championships at some point, which they've been doing here for a while now. On to Ring of Honor. There have been some additions to the women's world title tournament, which the tournament brackets will be released during Best in the World on July the 31st. Excuse me, not on July 31st. I'm sorry. It'll be on July 17th. I'm sorry. So Ring of Honor and Impact will be going up against each other for pay-per-views. The Best in the World pay-per-view will be on July 17th. The names that have been added that have rounded out the list are Marty Bell, Holiday, and Sumi Sakai. So they've got 15 people. They wanted to add a young lady by the name of Allie Rex, but who was invited, but she had to decline due to an injury that she had to her knee during a match that she had 2 weeks ago with one of the entrants, Max the Impaler. So she wasn't able to accept the invitation. Now there are the brackets are pretty much filled except for one spot. There are 14 people, 14 women that are in right now. Angelina Love got a first round bye by beating Quinn McKay about a couple of months back in a match that gave her that first round bye. So there's one more spot that's available on the bracket, and that will be determined when this will be on in a match soon where Quinn McKay will go up against Mandy Leon, which is Angelina Love's tag team partner in the faction Allure, the Allure. So whoever wins that match, well, Mandy Leon is already in. So if Quinn McKay wins this match, she'll be able to fill the last spot, which is what I'm calling the Mulkey spot. For those who are a little old school like me, you remember the Mulkey brothers back in the old NWA. They had during the first Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup, there was a tag team out of California that held the California Tag Team Championships and came in in the 64th spot for the tournament. They had a television match against the Mulkey brothers. The Mulkey brothers wound up beating them for their belts. So Jim Crockett came out and said, well, since you've beaten the 64th team and you've taken their belts, you might as well take their spot in the tournament. So they wound up going up against the Road Warriors, and you can imagine how that went. But they were going to end up leaving anyway to go to a California wrestling organization, another fed in California. So it was good for them the way that they went out that in that way. It was very good for them to be in that position. So yeah, the 64 spot in wrestling, the last spot I used to call the Moki spot. So yeah, that's just something on me. Now, Jonathan Gresham did retain the Pure Championship against Fred Yehai for the Pure Championship. So he will be facing Mike Bennett during the Best in the World pay-per-view. So, like I said, that will be on July the 17th, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that. I'm not sure which one I'll be watching Saturday. I could watch both of them at the same time, but, I want to try to give attention to both of them, give them their just due. So we'll actually see next week, because I'm sure it'll be during the show, during our podcast, that I'll be watching it. So I'll reveal that at that time. As far as in New Japan, not too much going on. El Desperado did defeat Taiji Ishimori this morning to retain the Junior Heavyweight Championship. And tonight or tomorrow morning, for us, it'll be Naito and Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi for the Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. MLW, Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman has now been released, or his contract has ended with MLW. And
he came back to life?
And he is all Brian Pillman Jr.
Thank you. How to say?
Anyway,
still on a contract like that.
Anyway, and he could, it could happen. So Brian Pillman Jr. has ended his contract with MLW, and he has now signed an exclusive deal with AEW. So good for him. He's been pretty much one of the mid-card mainstays, and they're enjoying his presence there very much. So so good for him on that. Last thing I want to bring up is we were talking about MCW on last week. KG brought it up, and I wanted to try to bring some light to the pay-per-view, to the show that he mentioned last week, which is going to be on the 24th in Joppa. It's going to be called Resurrection. I'm not sure as to the card, but they did post a poster for it, and on that poster was Leo Rush, who is their television champion, a young lady by the name of Gia Scott, who is their women's champion. You've got a heavy Ring of Honor presence, which is going to be Shane Taylor Productions, all three members, Brian Johnson, Ken Dixon, and Joe Keys. Joe Keys, they've been kind of pushing on the mid-card here recently. The Varsity Blondes will have an appearance there. And also, you're going to have an appearance from a man by the name of Sam Adonis. Now, you may remember Sam Adonis from me talking about the AAA Triple Mania show not too long ago for Rey de Reyes, the show that they had. He also calls himself El Rudo, which he's wrestling in New Japan Strong and in the NWA. He can't call himself Sam Adonis because of Chris Adonis in the NWA, so he calls himself El Rudo. But he's also a member, one of the founding members of a group called La Impresa, which includes the Puma King and Diamond Azul in that faction, which is wreaking havoc within AAA at the moment, which will probably have a big part of the Triple Mania main event. Now, he's also, as I mentioned before, the brother of Corey Graves. So, but he seems to be doing very well. He's a very technical style wrestler. He's a very good heel. I mean, not quite MJF good, but more like I would compare him more to El Fantasmo. So yeah, he's very good at what he does. To be so young and to be so new into the industry, he's somebody to look out for here in the future. So I would keep my eye on him, and I will be keeping my eye on him and keeping you all posted as to what's going on with him, as well as some others that may come along the pike that we will see in one of the top three at some point. So, any questions, gentlemen? Anybody listening? Anybody watching? Put it in the comments so that KG can put you up, and we'll answer any questions for you.
Well, I got a question. Is it smooth?
Actually, okay. Let me preface this by saying that I don't really get into a whole bunch of celebrity endorsed or owned beverages. Okay. Proper 12 was once owned, which he just sold it recently, by Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a nice under $20 bottle. You know, I would put it along the lines of Jameson. Anybody that likes Jameson, it's going to be on the same taste level, same strength level, same everything. It's a nice everyday drink. This is something that if somebody was coming off of work and they needed it, and they one of those that like to have a little nip before they go to bed, this is one of those bottles. Like I said, it's a nice, cheap bottle. It's not cheap as far as taste or as far as, rock gut or anything like that, but it is a nice under $20 gem that I would recommend to folks if they just needed something for their counter to add to their collection. So yeah,
okay,
it's pretty good.
Very nice. Very nice.
What I mean, you were taking a sip, so I said I'd ask that. But my original question is, I thought Lio Rush retired. Why is he still holding a?
He's fulfilling all of his contractual obligations. So as long as they need him, I guess they'll keep him, and as long as he's getting paid, I guess he'll continue getting paid. But apparently, he is supposed to be retired.
Stop playing my emotions, man. Stop playing my emotions.
Because if you contractually obligated, you should have took also the big check and do both at the same time.
Exactly.
Run AEW and do MCW when they have a show.
So but he probably has more room to move with MCW than he does with anybody else. So his contract won't be as obligatory as it would be with AEW.
Looking at the loop, we're only talking Florida and Texas. It's not like they're moving anywhere. They're not traveling to California yet or anything like that. So, the Florida, Texas loop, he can fly back, do a show, go back to AEW, no harm, no foul, everything's good. But, I guess Lio does as Lio does.
Lio does what he wants to do.
I wonder what Mark Henry has to say about that. Is like,
no, they hugged it out.
We had a conversation.
Yeah, they hugged it out.
Cool. And now you gone. Interesting.
I think Mark Henry was probably the reason why he got into AEW. Off of Mark Henry, the strength of Mark Henry saying, "Hey, this is what it is."
Mark did say he knew that the intent was there for them, or the interest was there for them to bring him in before really Lio saw the writing on the wall. So who knows? But let's talk about other intent or influence or repeat offenses or habit, or you could throw the big A word out there, addiction, or you could throw the big C phrase out there, common sense. All this alluding to this past earlier this week, I believe it was Monday night, Jimmy Uso was once again arrested for driving under the influence. Not his first time, not a second time, not a third time. He has been through over these last, I guess, maybe James, let's say, about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
He's had quite a few instances. Most of them are in Florida. So, a couple of them were out while they were touring, but most of them while he's been home in Florida. So we're at this crossroads again. But this time, I'd say, even though he was champion before and to punish him, which unfortunately Jay was collateral damage, they had to drop the belts as punishment and then, work their way back up and stuff like that. But now he's in super main event position along with his brother. And Roman's Teflon, so this isn't going to touch Roman. But the issue with it is that the ratings skyrocket when this storyline is present. Who you drop in and drop out. It could be Edge at this moment. It could be the Daniel Bryans, or it could be anybody. Brock Lesnar, who they mentioned this week during a promo. It could be anybody. You can just drop in and drop out. But the key steadfast superstar is Roman. So consequences. We've already seen collateral damage. And KG, I know you're ready to talk about it, so I'm going to give you the floor. Being Naomi's, which is Jimmy's wife, her Twitter. I'm sorry, no, was it Twitter, right?
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah. Her Twitter, she took it down because fans and their infinite, negativity in some instances are saying that she is the reason why he is constantly having these DUI issues. So I'm assuming she did the right thing for sure. Just nip that in the bud. So you can't post any negativity if there's no posting capability. So she deactivated her account, but I look at that as collateral damage because all she does is post, dance videos, her and Lana and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, nothing controversial. She's not even posting to supplement storylines or anything like that, which we all would like to see more of the Samoan dynasty start to come into play with all this, especially on a female end between her, Nia, and Tamina. But that's, other opportunities down the road. So she's collateral damage. His brother potentially could be collateral damage, but he's also, Jay, is wedged himself a little niche being the right-hand man of Roman. So he can kind of survive this. But again, my question to you guys, taking it to you, is consequences. What could be the consequence? Should there be a consequence? Should he go to rehab? I mean, should he take him off TV for a while? Fine him? I don't know. What do you guys think? KG, I'll let you go first because I know you were chomping at the bit. You and I sent pretty much the forward about that Naomi thing almost at the same time. I posted you on Twitter and then you popped it on WhatsApp. So
here's my thing. Now I'm gonna start with Naomi because this is where it truly pisses me off. Let me move this mic over in front so I don't have to lean to the side. Here's my thing. To those people that decided to bully Naomi over something that her husband, a grown man, decided to do of his own volition, I hope tonight when you lay down in your bed or cot, sofa, dungeon, whatever the hell you sleep in, I hope your bowels have hot coals in them and you got to go shit them out. You bullied a woman, dog. You bullied a fucking woman. And you did that make your dick hard? Did it make your nipples hard? Did it make you come? You bullied a woman over what her husband did. Saying that she's the reason? Are you serious? This woman does not bother anybody. Anybody. Never a hint of trouble, but you're blaming her for what a grown-ass man did? That's like blaming my wife for what happens to me. I make my own damn decisions. If you call yourself a man, you call yourself a wrestling fan, you call yourself a woman, but you're bullying somebody, about what their significant other does, go get yourself a 38, load it all the way around, put it under your left breast, and pull the fucking trigger. Kill yourself.
By the way, I'm pouring this for KG.
Yeah, because I can't drink it, but
yeah,
damn it.
I'm pouring this one for KG because he need it right now.
Yeah, really.
The whole situation pisses me off because everybody makes mistakes. If you don't believe that everybody, especially in the industry, everybody makes mistakes. Not everybody is squeaky clean. Jeff Hardy had a problem. It may come down to the consequence being that you have to split the Usos up. You have to let Jimmy go. Let Jay flourish on his own. Let Jimmy go. That may be the consequence that you have to do. Let him get himself together. But he has to want help. He has to admit that he has a problem. That's step one. Step two, he has to want help. Step three is getting the help that he severely needs. Now, when they say under the influence, that could be just like DWI, DUI, under the influence, intoxicated. It could be anything. Under the influence of what exactly?
Well, no, it was alcohol, and he blew a number. Let's just put it out there like that. He blew, one of those target numbers. Like, yeah, you need to go to jail just to cover up for your health. You need to go to jail.
If that's the case, and he feels that he needs to drink like that, I'm gonna need him to look inside himself and see what he's doing to his body. Your body is your moneymaker at this present point, number one. Number two, look at what Scott Hall went through with the alcohol. There's your cautionary tale right there. Luckily, it ended in a better, happy ending because he went through DDP yoga and got clean. Same thing with Jake the Snake, got clean. Look at Jake the Snake now. You would have told me 20 years ago this would be the Jake the Snake I see in 2021. I would have told you damn liar. But I'm happy to see the old man like that. Still evil as ever, and I love it. I can't. I can't understand why somebody would bully Naomi to the point that she has to deactivate social media. And two, I don't understand why is Jimmy not seeking help. One of the biggest problems we have as humans is saying I need help. Along with I'm sorry. Now, right now is the time that he has to say, I'm sorry, and I need help.
But, he may not, he may believe, as some people do, that they have it under control. But I think we're getting, if this isn't the point, we're getting close to the point where it's going to come to, like it has before for others, Vince making that decision that, hey, if you're not going to go do, then I'm going to have to remove you from liability to the company. Because all it takes, and thank the Lord that it hasn't happened already, is for him to hit, a kid or a pedestrian, or to hit another vehicle and cause, a fatality. We don't want it to be to the point to where that is the trigger that says, well, maybe I should get some help. Thankfully, we haven't had that happen, and the police have magically always been there. But, Vince is going to have to make that decision from a liability standpoint. Because if that was to happen, and then they say, well, we're going to sue you and the WWE because you represent them. And, from a business standpoint, you can't do that, KG.
Please, for the love of everything that's holy and great, do not turn this into a storyline. Do not do what you did to Hulk and turn this into a storyline.
Don't do what you did to Jeff Hardy.
Don't do that.
They did to Jeff Hardy too.
Yeah, well, don't do that. Don't turn this into a damn storyline.
They did it to CM Punk.
But the superstar also has to agree to it. And they were all trying to put awareness out there and things like that, which I understand. But they were, especially of late with Jeff Hardy. He wanted to put that in front of him. Maybe that was a way of him battling the demons within constraints that he can control. It's almost like he's having a match with alcoholism by promoting the alcoholism in the storyline and showing that he's overcome it and he's better than, and he's, for lack of a better term, delivered from that particular vice.
Maybe they did. I mean, they did drop the last storyline that was supposed to end up being Sheamus. They never said who the red-headed guy was that drove the car. They never did finish that.
It ran its course.
But they never said who did it though.
I know, but I'm saying
they never really finished it. So I mean, they just dropped
as far as they could go, and then they changed over the writing team at that point, and then that was it. One of those many things that we know that storyline existed, but it's gone. But
because we don't really know if it was Sheamus or not, because there was somebody else that it could have been. It could have been Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Or it could have been what's the little guy's name?
Everybody with a wig.
What's the little guy's name they let go and they brought back?
Talking about Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick. It could have been Drake Maverick. So it was a few guys that it could have been, but they never really said who it was. So yeah, I don't know if they just, like you said, if this writers changed up and they just dropped the storyline, or they came to their senses and was like, we don't need to do this, because this is just wrong. We've done it twice before and it didn't work. It didn't necessarily work out. So let's not do this again.
Also saying, yeah, no. So it could have been Fox put the, with that Peacock deal and all the other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So they could have been pulling it for that too. So, I mean, it's a lot of different possibilities, but I agree. It doesn't need to be a storyline because that'd be stupid. I mean, if anything, like I said, if they have to pull the trigger on it, then they need to beat them out. And then, you're gone. You're off TV until you get it together. Once you get it together and we believe that you got it together, then you can be back on TV. If that doesn't happen anytime soon, you can go somewhere else. But
well, they've already set the precedent with Jeff Hardy. I mean, like you said, if you want to make comparisons, even during that storyline, he had gone through something. He had been arrested during that storyline right before. Yeah. So, they kept him. I mean, they kept him on television. They didn't do as much with him as they could have, but they kept him on television. So, being that they're in the middle of this major storyline with Roman being main event guy, and they're his backup, they're his heaters. I don't know if they're going to let Jimmy. They may put him in a lower capacity and let Jay kind of be, the more so be the more so USO,
yeah.
But and just have Jimmy be like his backup,
Yeah, he could just be the
right now, because right now that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing right now, because it was Jay who was like, "Look, let's go get this dude. Let's go jump him," and Jay was kind of reluctant. Was like, "Yeah, okay." So so it's leaning toward that now, where Jay is kind of running, kind of the enforcer at this point, and Jimmy is his heater. Yeah. So and they'll go up to tag titles, and they might not win right away. Them against the Mysterios. Now the Mysterios are back. That's money. They ain't gonna give up that money. On that match because they
also have to think about, hey man, we're about to start touring. You may know the little stretch of road or something that you may be able to do, 90 on and once in a while just to hurry up and get home. But now we're talking about, Dallas, Texas. We're talking about Madison Square Garden. We're talking about places that, you can't be, going ham on a bottle and then decide you're going to peel out. But on
they'll use
side of the coin, if you're traveling, you have a ride partner. So that's where Naomi could come in. So
they'll use Jimmy up until the point where he gets his court date. They'll find out what he's going to get. and then they'll act accordingly. He'll end up getting hurt at some point, and then they'll ship him off while he has to do his jail time or whatever the case may be, and then they'll bring him back.
Yeah.
So maybe a few days, maybe some rehab or whatever, but they've already set the precedent, like I said, with Jeff Hardy. So they can't do any more to him than they did with Jeff Hardy.
True. Well, hopefully off this Twitter thing, that'll give the push to Naomi. And, if they're going to push him in the background, then she'll actually get some more foreground time, just to show that, okay, we understand that you're getting screwed over. Well, let's not do that to you. Just, that guilty by association type thing.
Yeah.
But if we're doing rants tonight, I felt kind of compelled, just off of the message that you sent earlier amongst us, to create a new segment. And it's so new that we put 2 eyes in Nubian. So it's Nubian, the Nubian rant. Because you apparently felt really strong about what happened in the women's tag division this week on WWE side of things. So I'm going to let you just go ahead and paint the picture, James, and then you could go ahead and tell us how you really feel and your now 1 eye Nubian rant.
Had to take a drink on that. Okay, so we were looking at SmackDown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Natalya and Tamina come out, and they say they've been told that they have a match, but they don't know that they know that it's a non-title, but they don't know who they're wrestling. So they come out and they're like, okay, whoever it is, come on, bring it on. We're ready. Music starts up, and it's Shotzi Blackheart, which is not a bad choice. Okay. We've kind of expected her to be moved up at some point. Cool. Okay. But then she's on the tank, and I'm looking, and they got a lot of smoke and everything, from her entrance and everything. And I'm looking for Ember Moon, but it's Teegan Knox. Now, I got nothing against Teegan Knox. Okay. The woman with the shiniest wizard. Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, you're a nice wrestler. You're good. You've been around the independents for a while. I've been seeing you, and you've been doing pretty well. But for you to come off of a 9-month injury, it could have even been a year. I can't remember. It's 9 months to a year. But for you to come off of that injury, not doing anything, and to get moved up over Ember Moon as an established tag team with Shotzi Blackheart, there's too much to that. There's too many things going on with that to make that right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one, you just, like I said, you just came off of that injury. 2, you got a major storyline with Candice LeRae. Where is that going? They just shut that down? And then where's Ember Moon in all this? What's going on? You take her tag team partner. She's not established in the women's title, the NXT women's title picture, really.
Uh-uh.
So are you going to make her like number 1 contender? Is she next in line? What are you doing with Ember? I mean, granted, yes, I'm going to be like, okay, who was? Okay, so Conrad Thompson. I took the time all last week to listen to Conrad Thompson's new podcast with Jeff Jarrett called My World. If you haven't, and sidebar, if you haven't listened to it, you need to start listening to it. It's only 10 episodes right now, going into the 11th. 2 through 8 break down like a compound, like a fraction, break down how Jeff Jarrett created TNA. If you want to know how to create a wrestling organization, just listen to the My World podcast, episodes 2 through 8, and he lets you know exactly how he did it, what he did, to the letter. Okay, so that's my plug. Conrad Thompson, you the man. Okay, back to. I'm not understanding where they are going with Ember Moon. I don't understand why they left Ember Moon off. And then later in the show, they announced that they're bringing Toni Storm in. Now, that is I understand that one. Toni Storm should have been moved up 2 years ago, in my opinion. She should have been moved up from NXT UK, as far as in my opinion, because she's that good.
Yep.
And she's thicker than cold grits. So there's that too. But my whole argument in this whole situation is the way they did Ember Moon. Now, folks are going to say, wait for it. It's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen with the storyline. You know, they got to do something with her. She should have been moved up with Shotzi. There's no reason for Megan to
about the fact that Natalya and Tamina lost the match. Clean.
Getting to that.
Okay.
Getting to that.
Because that made I'm just emphasizing my main situation. My main argument was how they did Ember Moon. But going into that, the fact that they had Natalya and Tamina lose to Shotzi and Teegan, with Teegan getting the pin on Natalya clean. Mm-hmm.
What's going on with in my words? What the fuck just happened? I mean, really.
I can't explain it.
And you can kind of, in hindsight being 2020, you can actually see when Natalya and Tamina came out that there was something wrong.
Yeah.
Something was about to happen. You didn't actually notice it at first, but if you go back and you look at the promo that they cut right before they came, Shotzi and Teegan came out, you could actually see that something wasn't quite right. Like they didn't agree with what was going on. Like something was about to happen.
Because Natty's finally at that point to where she realizes she has a stronger voice and opinion, to the point to where she's like, yo, this is some dog water. I'll put a lot of people over. I've trained a lot of people and then put them over. But I'm finally getting my just due, and now we're going to put them over, which is the precursor to us losing the tag team championships.
Right. Which goes back
not to get it back immediately.
Which goes back to what I was saying about the tag titles. What's the point in having an NXT Women's Championship if you're going to do this? If they were going to do that, they should have had a storyline where the three of them, Shotzi, Teegan, and Ember, got together and formed maybe a faction. And then had Shotzi and had all three of them in some combination wrestling to get to the NXT tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
Why send them over to SmackDown just to bring them in like that. That's not how you. That's not how you bring them in. Not against them. Not against them. Not against the tag champions.
Oh yeah.
Give them somebody. Give them somebody like the number one contenders. Give them somebody that's in contention.
Name a female tag team on SmackDown that could be the number one contenders. Let's see how long it takes. That is a tag team.
They could name anybody. It's the WWE. They make up the whole point. The whole point of a writer. The whole point of a writer is to make the fans believe what they want them to believe. Exactly. So they could go and dig up Moolah and fucking Mae Young and make them number one contenders.
No, what I'm saying is that just exposed what their problem is. Also, it's the same problem in AEW, is that there's no depth in that division to have the tag team championship when you don't have any tag teams. If they would have had some tag teams there and they came in and debuted against, Susie A and Susie B, beat them, and then next week, they started talking some trash, and then now they got a match.
But then you just answered your own question. You just answered your own question. Shotzi and Teegan Knox are not an established tag team.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. That's where the
so they can put together any two women in SmackDown, make them a tag team.
They don't have enough. That's what I'm saying.
But they have some though. They have
some. But if they take the sum and put them in the tag team, then you now have no strong contention for the singles championship. They need more depth. A. B. The problem that you didn't even think about probably is that you can just call this SmackDown the go-home show to live fans. So the problem next week is going to be how are the fans going to receive them over Natty and Tamina? Who's going to get the pop? Because that's going to determine what's going to happen next and who's going to have the championships. If Natty and Tamina are still getting the pop that they had at WrestleMania, and Shotzi is getting what she had in NXT, then they're not going to put the belts on them. Natty and Tamina is secure. But if that tank comes out and they lose their minds, Natty knows it's a wrap. It is a total wrap. So next week is going to be the key to figuring out for all of WWE where we're going to go between Friday being the first one, the first drop in the bucket to WrestleMania. That's how serious of an impact the fans are because there's no more piping. I'll forward you guys a picture of, the Thunderdome being disassembled. So unlike AEW, which we've already got the litmus test, so we know exactly who's going to be what and how it's playing out, who's super over, who the fans are starting to believe in and get behind. WWE cannot, they're about to lose control on everything. What's up, KG?
I just wanted a quick question because you said something about the Thunderdome. Did you get your check for that?
Check.
It was your idea. It was your idea.
Check. They blocked me from getting in. Well, let's not even talk about that.
This is it. We got it on wax, man. This was your idea.
Yep. And tweeted. Put some
okay, so
around the ring.
So I got a question. Since we are now at the end of the Thunderdome era, what are you two guys going to miss about them being in the Thunderdome? Is there anything that you're going to actually miss?
Truthfully, for me, the production of all the monitors, I think those situations with Bray Wyatt, it made it more intense because you could do things in the background. That extra added wall, I guess, for lack of a better term, I'm going to miss. Other than that, that's about it.
KG?
The access, being able to be there without being there. That's the only thing that I'm going to miss. But I myself, like the People's Choice Don Rodriguez, I forget what it was. I mean, for a couple pay-per-views, I was on for a pay-per-view for a little while. So I actually got to quote unquote participate in a WWE pay-per-view, but I moved and they cut me off. So I mean, but just being able to be there without being there, that's the only thing that I'll miss. Other than that, pay Don Rodriguez his money so we can get the hell out of here.
Please. We can't get out of here yet. We got one more segment, but
Nah, I don't mean us getting the hell out of here. I'm talking about, we like to move to, bigger studio where we can do something a little bit better, a little bit more professional. I mean, this is good. This is great.
We can make it do what it do. James, answer your own question, man.
Well, I'm gonna actually miss being able to hear the actual match. I enjoyed listening to the wrestlers, listening to the sound of the ring, listening to the wrestlers kind of talk amongst themselves, and
so that was actual you're talking about.
Like no. I'm actually talking about the wrestlers talking to each other.
That's what I'm saying. During the pre-piping of the audio, you could clearly hear it.
Yeah, exactly. You could hear the wrestlers talking to each other. You could hear the referee speaking to the wrestlers. You could hear the actual mat. You could hear them coming off the ropes. You could hear. I enjoyed the actual. Even because I watch Mexican wrestling. I watch Japanese wrestling. Sometimes I just turn down the volume because I can't understand the announcers. So I just turn down the volume and I just watch the story that's being told in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can actually watch wrestling like that. A lot of folks can't. A lot of folks need that background in their ear to kind of relate to what they're watching, but I don't need that. So but the main reason I asked that question, because the main reason I'm going to miss the Thunderdome, there was this light-skinned girl, this woman, who was always at the bottom right-hand corner of the ring on the monitor. She had this curly hair, light skin. She was just cute as hell. I would look for her every show because she was fine as hell. And she was actually on two monitors Friday. She was always on SmackDown. She was never on Raw. She was always on SmackDown. So I'm gonna miss her. I'll call her my curly Q. I know she's not listening. She knows nothing. She probably doesn't know anything about this podcast.
She probably works for him, James.
If she does, then good for her. And keep your mouth shut. Don't be talking out. Don't be telling tales out of school like old girl did, the writer. So keep your mouth shut. But yes, you young lady will be what I miss the most about the Thunderdome.
Thank you for that creepy response. Yeah, he's a stalker. KG is a stalker, so it's good to know. And I'm a funky walker.
Whoa! How did I get put into this? I did nothing.
You are still stalking Jordan Grace to the point of delivering packages.
He can't deliver packages to her. She's not in Maryland anymore.
She live in Texas. I don't deliver to Texas.
I rest my case. He already know where she is.
She says it.
Everybody knows where she's at.
Everybody knows where she is. She's on Twitter. She's on Instagram.
We know.
Stop putting that on KG. Stop putting that on KG.
He put it on himself.
No, he didn't. No, he did.
I meet somebody famous. I meet somebody famous. I didn't mark out because I met somebody famous. Didn't mark out. First thing I did was call you two guys and I called you two guys and told you, hey, guess who I just ran into? Now all of a sudden I'm a stalker?
Yeah, you was stalking, man. You was over there a lot.
He was delivering. She had packages.
I go wherever I'm told to go.
She had packages. He was responsible for her packages. She was in his area.
Since it's out there, shout out to Gresham. One of the coolest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. I know I woke him up when I knocked on the door, but it was a lot of packages. I knocked on the door. He was cool about it. I didn't mark out. I knew who he was. That was it. I put two and two together.
Oh, you could have been like some of your asshole cohorts and just left it at the front door and didn't knock, didn't do shit.
No,
you know, for somebody to steal his shit.
No.
like some of the old cohorts up here with my packages.
I had a bag for man. It had to be about 8-9 packages, a couple boxes, and a couple envelopes. And I was like, hey, I can't leave this in. Hey, knock on the door. Hey, come get this. I couldn't do it, but I know I woke him up. It was probably after this workout. I know I woke him up, but the dude was so cool about it, and that's why
Well, he had no choice but to be cool about it. If he going, that's money.
That's money. You'd be surprised. A lot of people can't name names, but a lot of celebrities have been delivered to and are real assholes. They're assholes to delivery people, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, the postal service. They're assholes just to be assholes because they got money.
Mm-hmm.
And the boss BJ always says, you can talk all that trash all you want, but remember, I know where you live. You don't know where I live.
And they say money is the root of all evil. No, that's not the case. Money is not the root of all evil. Money just gives you access to be the asshole or the person that you actually are. Right.
Well, I learned a long time ago what they say: success makes you the person you really are.
Because we broke as hell.
Right.
Well, success makes you the person you really are.
Well, and I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole now, so I'll be an asshole if I ever hit the lottery or anything. If I ever get some money, I'm gonna be an asshole then too. So it's all good.
Not be able to deal with you.
I'm right there with you.
So speaking of
asshole.
So don't say I changed. Don't say I changed. Because I'll be the same asshole then that I am now.
I'll be like, well, he got some money, and I swear he looked taller. Just a little bit, though. You're still shorter than me, James. Congratulations. So
both of y'all shorter than me. So what that say?
I'm shorter than you, but I'm more of a man than you.
Wow. I'm gonna have to prove that.
Don't say because you got a whole bunch of kids, but that don't mean shit.
Oh my God! Just please keep your clothes on. No, he gonna get naked. Keep your clothes on. Keep your clothes on.
I'm trying to go to the next segment, sir.
Ooh, Lord Jesus!
Jeez, can I get there?
We there.
So, unfortunately, we lost a good one this week for about a 9-month span. It was announced yesterday that Bayley has torn ACL that she did during a performance center training, mandatory training. So I'm assuming that considers under the auspices of you got injured in a WWE ring, so they're paying for it. So that'll be a good thing. But that poses a problem. So we know this Friday on SmackDown that Carmella was interjected into that match against Bianca Belair. But the bigger question that I want to pose to you guys is, does this mean that Bianca's title reign is truthfully locked in well beyond SummerSlam? Because, I was giving her with Bayley, they could still feud, but she could stand to lose the title and get it back. But now that Bayley's gone and we still don't know where Sasha Banks is, she's it. And we're going to live. So that's quite a few shows in Texas, as we talked about, Florida that we talked about. MSG is in September. So you're going to need big money from the female side of things. And she's printing it hand over fist. So does this mean now that she's got carte blanche to really punch her ticket to remain champion at WrestleMania or up to WrestleMania? And maybe, depending if, let's say, not wishing it, but if the rehab doesn't go well, she could be the storyline that her and Bayley are going to collide, but they both had the same amount of consecutive days as being SmackDown Women's Champion. So Bayley can no longer hold that as her accolade when they're going to wrestle each other on the day that Bianca would beat her in longevity of championship title reign. So that could become a storyline that Bayley's saying, I'm back, but I'm not going to let you beat my record. And it won't be WrestleMania, obviously. It'll be, have to be a whole year plus, but that could be something that comes out of this. So I wanted to pose that to you guys.
KG?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It didn't matter if Bayley got hurt or not. Bianca Belair is white hot, baby. She is over. There is no end. There is nothing. There is no, oh, this is only gonna last this long. No, she is white hot. She's at the ESPYs right now with a dress on that she made.
And that dress is smoking too.
The
That,
girl
that dress is on some Jessica Rabbit joint. Man, come on. Where's your wife? Where's your wife? Where's Natasha?
Sis!
Sis, Natasha, where? Hey, come get your husband. We know you watching. We know you watching. Come get him. Come get him.
Bayley and Bianca without me getting in the mood. There you go.
He turned off his mic. He turned off the camera.
The swerve
I
is real.
I knew something was going on because he was just complaining about KC turning his camera off. And now all of a sudden, get your husband. Get your husband.
I do you one better. Hold on.
Finish what you were saying.
As a matter of fact, KG, where your wife at?
In the room. Because you know, see, when he get naked, the wives thing go off. Like if you touch the thermostat for men, it's when he get naked. I'm trying to pull her in here.
Get her. Somebody get this dude, because I'm about to get him. Somebody please get this guy.
Week, baby. It's NWO week.
The NWO week got nothing to do with you having your titties out.
Oh, Lord, I can't find the stream. Where's the stream?
Can y'all finish what you're saying so we can wrap this up, B?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Get him.
Cut it off.
What?
I can't cut it off.
What do you mean? Cut it off.
It doesn't work like that.
Get him.
Didn't I say no shenanigans?
I didn't. I have my clothes on.
What did I say?
I got a scarf on.
Why you naked again?
Never mind.
She got a scarf on.
Didn't I tell you, James? I told you. When one show up, they both show up.
Get the unicorn. Get the unicorn. Get the unicorn.
Look. Mm-hmm.
Where's the daughter to choke him out again? Where's she at?
Oh Lord! When one show up, they all show up.
Man, put your shirt, put something on, put that apron back on or something.
I'm trying to help y'all get y'all wrap it up moment in. Are y'all done? You finished with the Bayley segment?
Oh Lord, I'm gonna go ahead and ease on over here. Where we at here?
Somebody tell FJF to put his shirt on, man. I'm trying to do my thing, man. Got my scarf going on and stuff. I'm over here doing it on, man.
Yeah, but he wears a Burberry scarf. That's different.
Doctor, help!
That's right. Get him.
Get him.
The people's choice Don Rodriguez is getting abused with the uniform.
Get him, get him, girl. Get him, baby. Get him, baby. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to do kid abuse.
Get him. Get him.
I may have to use a scarf, which means I'll be exposed.
Get him.
I'm totally exposed.
Oh my God. I think that'll be our go home moment for the night. Oh Lord.
Cover the nips.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Sorry guys. Sorry.
My unicorn.
Jesus Christ.
Unicorn. Oh, I'm
Go ahead and finish what you were saying, KG, about Bayley.
Bayley
I'm covered up.
Bayley is
I'm covered up.
Bayley's gonna be missed, but that doesn't mean she had to be off TV. Let's just say that.
Chew. Oh snap! What is that? God dang it! Where's my scarf? Has everybody seen? Y'all
She
see
doesn't
that?
have to be off TV.
I got the scarf. What the heck is going on?
Oh my goodness.
Dang. Oh, is that
It's all gone but clipped.
What the hell?
Wait a
man
minute,
right
wait a
there.
minute. What is that?
I thought that was a skull. That's taco meat.
That's taco meat on the floor.
That's the fried man meat right there.
Oh my God.
Nobody's
Oh my
stripping
goodness.
anything.
He got his hamburger meat out.
He got the taco meat. What the?
Looking real Miami with it.
Ew.
Help me.
Hey man, I got my MJF scarf on. There you go.
Oh my God, help me. Somebody.
My
Oh,
taco
God.
meat is better than yours, and you know it. Aren't you wrapping that up?
Okay. Now,
I was talking about Bayley, but
as far as you done, KT?
whoo, Lord Jesus.
Oh man, I hope my mama ain't watching.
We're gonna send it to her. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll send it to her.
Somebody call my mama.
We got to escalate this. We got to escalate this. The wives are not as effective as we thought they would be. So we have to escalate this. You'll have to bring your mama into it.
Wait.
I promise next week I'll shave. How about that? I'll shave it. Is that what you want? Oh wait. I got something for y'all. Hold up.
Man, you're doing too much.
About to give it to
What
you
you
now.
doing now?
All right, hold on. This
No.
It's gonna be a little controversial.
No, you don't.
Oh, please.
Got a salt bed.
We look.
There you go.
Grounded. All that taco meat.
Had to season it. McCormick.
Oh my God. It's kind of hard to fire him because he is the producer. He is the writer. he takes a lot of pressure off me on the weekends because I don't know. Ooh, James.
Why y'all putting my business out on the street?
Ooh, Lord.
Hey man, that's not a bad deal.
Yeah. It's gonna be you and that unicorn tonight, buddy.
Hey man, that's where the PlayStation is, so it's all good.
Wait, you don't have your PlayStation in your bedroom?
No, I got a Xbox Series X in the bedroom. Come on, man.
Oh shit, never mind. Let me shut my mouth. Let me shut my damn mouth.
Hey man, y'all ain't wrapped this up yet. Y'all still trying to get me in trouble, man.
No, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. Hey, James,
You get yourself in trouble.
You better wrap it up before I go to the next level.
If we gotta take a ride down there to go get him, man.
Take it to the next level. Do what you do, man, because your wife is right there. So you
may have to see the back crack. Now, if you want to talk about some hair,
oh my God,
Lord,
Oh man,
you can plait that. I'm telling you, man, braid and everything.
Okay, look, like KG was saying, even though she's hurt, they can still do vignettes with her. Off out of the ring, doing segments or doing promos, cutting promos, whatever. But this is more so going to be their reason to bring Becky back in earlier than they probably planned to. So they'll bring Becky in.
I'm about to get Blue Steel.
You are not giving no Blue Steel.
I am getting a Blue Steel. You're right.
Yeah, Blue Steel, that gun she about to put in your mouth.
They may have qualified for Magnum. You're right. Go ahead.
So yeah, expect sometime in the near future, probably within the next 3 to 6 months, to see Becky back, and they'll have her going up against Becky because, like I said, the most. Oh God, Jesus!
That Blue Steel, I gave it to you anyway.
Yeah.
I hope you can handle it.
Oh, okay. Because I swear I was like, I don't want to know what Blue Steel is, and then he's talking about Magnum. It's qualified as Magnum.
Like you were pushing a fart out.
I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know.
Lord, it was powerful enough to stop things from talking. So I think that's all y'all need right now.
Yeah, James almost finished his cigar anyway. So, oh my God.
Don't wrap this up yet.
Look,
we trying to. You just keep getting
KG, even though we have lost everybody, except for probably BJ, because he's probably going to want to talk to us after this is over.
Oh
But
Lord.
could you please tell everybody where they can find us if they still want to after tonight?
Mm.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm
You
glad
can
I can bring
catch
the ratings in.
the
Controversial.
Sideline Junkies as a whole, every show, including this one right here, that has gone completely off the rails as it does around about the hour and 25-minute mark. You can Facebook Sideline Junkies podcast, also the Facebook group Sideline Junkies 24/7. Instagram Sideline Junkies, Twitter Sideline Junkies. YouTube, I'm just discombobulated right now, so please forgive me. YouTube, of course, you can hear us on every streaming platform, all the majors, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Owltail, Podtail. Just Jesus, I don't even want to get in the tail, but you can hear us everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can see us damn near everywhere, but Jesus.
And before we get off the air, and I know I don't do this way enough as I should because they shout me out all the time. I want to show some love to our sister podcast, which I consider our sister podcast, the Straight to Tape podcast with my boy Perry and my boy Rob. And
Why don't they shout us out now? If they plan on coming on the naked episode too. I mean,
no, they ain't gonna come on no naked episode with you taking your stuff off and all that. I'm trying to get them to come back on. They ain't gonna come on with your crap like that. But Perry and Rob and my girl Keisha and Tico, all them, they're on every Sunday on Facebook Live and on Twitch and on other podcasting of outlets. You know, they'll be on Sunday at 2:00. They'll be on tomorrow. They'll be talking about a lot of social subjects and a lot of things that are relevant to life in general, as far as the news and social events and social things going on. So shout out to them. They shout me out on pretty much every show. So I want to show them some love tonight, and I'll try to do this more often, you know, to promote them a little bit more on our show because they are really good to us and they shout us out all the time. So shouts out to you all and everybody listen to them on tomorrow at 2:00.
Yep. For y'all show, I'll keep my shirt on.
Please do. But I will say this. I would love to have everybody from Straight to Tape back on again, please. Because that right there, I was one Saturday night, I said nothing. Nothing.
And I tried to bring him in. I tried to bring him in. He still didn't want to say that.
No, because I'm sitting there and I'm going through the book and I'm writing stuff down. I'm like, as everybody's talking, I'm like, wait, that really happened? I don't remember that. I'm looking it up, man. It was just nothing but it was straight knowledge drop that whole entire episode. And I think that episode, that's one of those episodes I always say when we get off air, don't matter what show it is. When it gets good, I always say, man, we can go about 4 hours. We probably can go 8. But that was a show we probably could have went into the wee hours of the morning because nobody was sleepy. Everybody was amped up, and it was just so damn good.
And Perry is a big fan of TNA and Impact and knows a lot of and has a lot of knowledge about TNA and Impact. So it'll be probably good to have him come on, you know, and just do an Impact segment or a show just to kind of tap his brain on what's going on with them. And Perry, if you're listening, like I said earlier, My World with Jeff Jarrett and Conrad Thompson, I know that's something that you need to be listening to. So check that out.
So I guess because the People's Choice Don Rodriguez is partially naked, he looking real Miami-ish, got the taco meat out there. So
he did mention that GTA 6 will be out in right around 2025, maybe 24, and they're going back to Vice City allegedly. So I got to get my Crockett and Tubbs on.
You going back? I got my thoughts on that, but speaking of which, I need to talk to you off air, the People's Choice Don Rodriguez, because we did some things and I think we messed up. I think we messed up really, really bad.
Oh God, in division or?
Yeah. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But thank you everybody for joining us. Please come back.
Please come back.
What's that supposed to be?
Please come back.
Please come back.
What?
I
Look.
know we've gone off on a tangent as we always do. This is probably the worst it's gotten since I've been on the show at least. But yeah, please
If y'all come back,
come back.
I will put these back on. So
Put it
y'all
this way.
come back, I
Oh,
will
Lord.
put
Put it this way, you come back, I swear. This I'll sing. I'll sing. Baby, come back. You
man.
can blame it all on me. You know all that.
Woo! Sing it, child. Sing it.
See, but don't forget to join us tomorrow
Is that
for
a
the
Dookie
Sunday
stain?
Rise. Oh Lord.
Was that a Dookie stain I just saw?
No, ain't no skid marks up in here, man.
Yeah, some skin
No
marks on
monster
that
truck
joint.
streaks.
No.
But we gotta go. But
On 22s.
You need
But I'm
to
gonna
repay
put
your
these-
Hershey Highway.
I'm gonna put these back on before I get a beating. So hurry up and
Okay.
end the show.
we join us tomorrow for the Sunday Rise. Talk a little
Wrap
bit.
it up, wrap it up, make it.
I'm trying. I'm gonna have to try to get
Walk
the
right now.
Midnight
Hurry up.
Rider.
Hurry up.
Try to get the Midnight Rider in here tomorrow, along with our Olympic correspondent, Lady C. So be on the lookout for that. Got a couple questions for him pertaining to some things. But until then, the naked one is the People's Choice Don Rodriguez. The cool one with that damn Stackhouse jersey on is the Nubian Sumo James, and me. I'm just the innocent little lamb in this den of wolves. I'm the big guy, KG. We don't do no overtime. We are out of here.
Peace.